Hi there, all my crafty friends. Are you all ready for some Christmas projects? Okay, let's start with a beautiful snowman this week. I'm using a crackle finish on the front that makes this ornament look like aged porcelain, and the back is faux wood made from clay. So if you're ready, let's make a mess. I'm going to decoupage this adorable snowman onto a plastic ornament. I'm separating out one of the pictures and I'll remove all the layers from the back. There are 3 layers, but I'm only going to be working with the top layer that has the printed image. I'm using a water brush to remove the snowman image, as that's all I'm going to be working with. The more of the background you can remove, the better. Less chances of wrinkles that way. I'm putting some tears in the napkin because the ornament base is a dome and I want the image to lay flat. I'm using Mod Podge in this video, however, I found a product that is so much better. It's called Polyvine Decorator's Varnish. I'm using that now for a top coat as well as a decoupage glue, and it's amazing. Far superior to Mod Podge. You can get this product from decoupagenapkins.com. And that's also where I purchased this adorable snowman napkin. I'm going to tell you all about them in just a minute. And I'll leave you a link in my description box below. I'm using a small piece of a Ziploc bag to smooth out any wrinkles or bubbles. This will keep the napkin from tearing. Polyvine is heat and water resistant. There are several formulas and some more so than others. It's also UV resistant to reduce fading. I should have painted the front of the ornament white before decoupaging the napkin, but I didn't. Apparently I was in a hurry. So I'm painting the inside of the ornament to make sure there is a nice white backing behind the snowman. I'm matching up the gray that was on the original napkin and painting around my snowman using a brush and a sponge. I used a couple different colored grays to get it to match. Decoupagenapkins.com has such a great selection of rice papers as well as napkins that you can purchase one at a time. Rub-on transfers, molds, modeling clay, stencils, stamps, scrapbook paper, and much more. Over 6,500 products. And carry 3 new lines of paint: Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint, Clay Mud Paint, as well as Pentart in a wide range of colors. They are wonderful to work with and send out their orders fast. They offer several automatic discounts when checking out on orders over $50, $75, and $125. Subscribe to the newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. Make sure you check them out. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. I'm brightening up the snowman a little bit by adding some white paint over the napkin. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. If you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video, click that bell. I watered down some white paint and tapped a fan brush on my finger to add some snow splatters. I'm using some air dry clay to do faux wood on the back of the ornament. I'm rolling out the clay and then stamping it with a texture mat, and this will create some wood grain on my clay. I'm using Das clay because it's a good clay to form on something and let it dry. It keeps its shape and has very minimal shrinking. I'm gluing it to the back of the ornament using tacky glue. I'm forming it to the dome and then cutting off any excess. I'm also removing any clay that got in the track where the front and back connect. And now I'll let that dry overnight. I'm starting off by painting the wood a dark tan, and I'll let that dry for about 30 minutes. And then I gave it a coat of clear gloss varnish to prepare it for antiquing, which I let dry for about an hour. I used some dark brown paint for my antiquing medium and brushed it on all over, then immediately wiped it off. Because of the varnish, it stays in the crevices and wipes off the surface easily. Without the varnish, the paint would grab and not wipe off at all. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I let that dry for about 30 minutes and then gave it a coat of clear glossy varnish. And now it's time to glue the front and back together. My varnish of choice is Polyvine Decorator's Varnish, which you can find at DecoupageNapkins.com. This snowman has a little bit of a vintage feel to it, but I'm going to make this look even more vintage by adding a crackle finish. I'm using Pentart's Fine Line Crackle Varnish. It's a two-part system and I'm brushing on component number 1. I'll let that dry for about an hour or so until it's clear. Once dry, I'll brush on component number 2. This step is an amber color. Use thin, even strokes. If you get a buildup or drips anywhere, it'll show when dry. I'll let this dry for a couple of hours. Once dry, you'll see the cracks. After using Fine Line Crackle Varnish, you cannot use any water-based products. It will ruin your crackle finish. You can only use solvent-based antiques and sealers. You can use a heat gun or blow dryer for just a couple of minutes to make more and deeper cracks. I'm going to add some antiquing and that will make all the cracks stand out. I'm using Master's Touch oil paint in the color Raw Umber as my antiquing medium. I'm applying it with a soft cloth and then wiping it off right away. It will stay in all the cracks and crevices, making all those nice cracks show up. Oil paint is very reasonable in cost and does the same thing as the expensive antiquing paste, and it comes in various colors, so you can get some very interesting finishes. I did a project using blue oil paint as an antique on a planter. I'll give you a link for that video in my description box below in case you would like to check it out. I'm giving this a coat of clear varnish to protect everything I just did. I'm using a solvent-based varnish and I'll let that dry overnight. All the products and tools I use and recommend in my videos have been tested by me. I won't suggest something that I haven't used myself. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. I'm adding this gold berry trim that I got at the dollar store on top of the seam to hide it. I went around twice and staggered the berries so they would look closer together. I love the way it turned out. I added a small gold cord as a hanger and strung some pretty Christmas beads on it in red, green, and gold. then knotted it and cut off the excess. Now it's time for some snow. I'm using a product called Snowtex. I'm applying it here and there on the snowman's hat and the top of the ornament, and some on the back of the ornament. When this dries, it'll look just like snow, and I'll let it dry for a few hours. I also did some snow splatters on the back of the ornament. I'm making a double bow for the top of the ornament using 2 different types and sizes of ribbon, tying them together with the small gold cording, and I'll glue that to the top of the ornament. I left all the gold cording that I tied around the ribbon to make the bows. I just trimmed it up a little bit. It looks really pretty, peeking out everywhere between the ribbons. I made a tassel out of some brown embroidery thread, twine, and the small gold cord. I have a video on exactly how to make a tassel. I'll leave a link for you in my description box below. I made another double bow to put at the bottom of the ornament, along with the tassel and some beads. I went up through the center bottom of the tassel with some of the gold cord. I'll string some of the beads on the cord and connect it to the 2 bows by threading it over the bows and then back down through the strung beads into the center of the tassel. Then tied it off under the center of the tassel so it's invisible. I put a small dot of glue to hold the knot, and now it's ready to attach to the bottom of the ornament. I made another bow exactly like the one on the top front of the ornament and glued it to the top on the back. I decided that it needed a little more snow. Send me a comment and let me know what you think about this vintage snowman ornament. It's one of my favorites. I put together a playlist of some other tutorials you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner so you don't miss any future videos.